Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Why, hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So I just took a look over here and saw 37 videos. This is on evolutionary. And it was more. I know it was in the 50s. So, and then I see one or more of your videos has been removed from the playlist because they were deleted from YouTube. So I'm not sure which ones they deleted. But the reason why we're called Evolutionary Energy Arts is simply because it was introducing Qigong, Reiki, Pranic healing, quantum touch, all the different forms of energy work, meditation, yoga, was primarily what I was going to focus on until everything just seemed to push us down into exposing the control system for what it is. And this does expose the control system for what it is, because this is all about healing and wellness.
Well, it's not the popular thing to do to teach people that they can heal themselves.
Yes, absolutely. So, here is meditation for building the life force, a short Qigong program, a long Qigong program, pore breathing, bone breathing. This is one of the most important things to learn, and it actually has 11,000 views, which is quite a bit for this topic. I wanted to just start to go over some basics and then maybe a little bit more in depth as we go along. I want to share more with you guys about the energy work, which is what we are. We're energy workers. We're healers. We utilize a lot of different techniques. We have our own system now, which again comes out of many different techniques. Again, this is something I started practicing really as a kid. I want to say around 13-ish, 13, 14, I started to learn really in depth about Qi, Prana, just from going to martial arts classes and saying, like what every other kid says, why do we, when we punch and kick, we yell Kia? Oh, that takes me back to my mom. It really, really does. As she would watch classes with me there. When I started, I was 12, so it was at a young age, and it just stuck with me, and it felt so comfortable to me. So I want to share with you some things that Cindy and I probably take for granted, but shouldn't be taken for granted. There are what's called 3 jewels in Qigong. The 3 jewels, the 3 treasures, also known as Sanbao in Qigong. It refers to the fundamental substances, energies cultivated in traditional Chinese medicine and practices like Neidan, Qigong, and Tai Chi. They are Jing. Jing is the essence. It's the physical, vital energies. You could think of it as a more viscous form of energy. It is a form of life force, but it's what we inherit from our parents, and it's stored in the kidneys. So when our parents go ahead and conceive a baby, what they are doing is you're getting some of your mom's Qi, you're getting some of your dad's Qi, life force. And this stays in the kidneys, and we can pull from this. Now, we can also take in life force, obviously, from breathing through water and whatever we're drinking, and also whatever we're eating as well. And this goes through a metabolic process. And again, that life force is stored in the body, especially if we are conscious of it. And this is where most people in a dark age are not conscious of the fact that they are taking in life force when they're eating and drinking and breathing.
Well, the food that goes into your body needs to be viewed as it's going to become you. And if you walk into a grocery store these days, or even a restaurant, there's a lot of food that is placed in front of you that is not food. It's absolutely fake. I mean, margarine shares so many ingredients with plastic. It's just crazy, the fake food that they have out there. So if we're eating these boxed foods and preservatives and sugars and things, this is depleting you. It's depleting the life force. So you get to start out with this little ball from your parents. Your parents give you a good start. And then everything that goes into that little ball of energy is going to become human. So you have choices every day that you can make after you become an adult or after you move out of the house. You can decide, what are you going to make your body up of? Like, what kind of things are going to make up my human being? What kind of things are going to make up me? And as you can see, most everything we have to choose from in this world is synthetic. Or it's plastic, or it's, some thing derived from another processing plant through seed oils and things of that nature, and how they tricked us into drinking motor oil and convincing us that it's okay. It's not okay. So we're coming out of the dark age, and we are here to talk to people about that, talk to people about what they put in their bodies and what they what they make themselves out of, and who they are. And so many people have this really strong energy, but then through diet and not taking care of themselves, it gets depleted, it gets lost. And one thing that Mike and I practice, and I think this makes us really different when it comes to energy work, is we practice all the things that Mike is going to talk about today on a daily basis. And we take in all the healthiest foods that we can find. We practice all the things to cultivate the energy. We're always doing the regular detoxes, mind, body, soul, spirit. We both go through problems, and we both process them in different ways. But it's about understanding that energy is the force that moves us. So when we're working on someone, I want people to know that the energy that is going to be going to you is the energy of the highest quality. We both have been working at this for a very long time, both discovering that we have some type of energetic something a little different about us, and we cultivate that. So we take that from where it's at and we make it stronger. And then when we work on you, it gives you that ability to make you stronger.
Yeah, and I was searching, and brave is worthless when it comes to searches for certain subjects. It's hard to find a good search that hasn't been affected by the system. All these, whether you're looking at Google or any of them, the index seems to be the best, but in some cases the index doesn't give you everything either. And then also it's finding things that are really helpful. They really do try to eradicate all the knowledge out there about things like pranic. What's the pranic level of your food? What foods have a high value of the life force in them? Obviously live foods. So taking in things, again, organic, makes a big difference, because and we've done videos on this in the past, if you do Kirlian photography where you could see the aura, you'll see the GMO foods look dead in comparison to the organic foods. This is purpose. This is completely purposeful. This is the system causing shortened lifespan, and also shortened ability to focus and to think clearly. This is so much an attack on everything that's natural that this system has done. And really, I'll do another video on this as well. But I can see, clearly they are really attacking this type of information. They don't want people knowing the basic things that can really help and heal them. Again, check out this playlist. We do have a similar playlist over on EEARTS as well. But we were talking about the Jing, which is the most physical of them. Then you move up to Qi itself, which represents the vital energy of the life force. And then you go up to Shen, which is the more spiritual level of consciousness. It represents the spiritual or mental aspects, often translated as spirit or consciousness. When we look at these three jewels, they correspond also to the 3 dantiens, which we're going to talk about. And there are certain postures, like you probably have heard Cindy say, embracing the tree. Now, she doesn't mean this type of embracing the tree, but this is literally helpful too, because again, trees take in what we put out, and they need our expiration for their respiration, and we need them for our respiration. So it's a balance. It's such a beautiful harmonic balance that exists. And yeah, you can certainly ground and root yourself with a tree. Ask a tree its permission to balance your energy field. And you could hug it if you want, or you could just simply lean up against it. And whether you want your eyes closed, if that helps you to visualize, or you could keep them open. Just with every inhalation, draw in the life force from the tree. You could see the life force being exuded from the leaves or from the tree itself. Feel it. You will be able to sense it. I saw a video pop up in my feed. It had like 5 million views. And it was about a channel that doesn't usually cover these subjects, saying, wow, I actually felt the life force. And it was like somebody showing them how to feel the life force between your hands. And it got me thinking, this is what we are masters of. Cindy and I, this is what we have spent our entire lifetime doing. And we need to share more of this because, honestly, this is where the knowledge is the deepest. It's in how this works. Gathering energy, gathering the life force, utilizing it to heal ourselves, to heal others, and to elevate your consciousness. So embracing a tree is really not a bad idea unless it's termite infested.
Right. I know. So it's just something, the trees are here to help us. They're definitely here. There's a synchronicity to us and trees, a symbiosis that can be carried on, which is really beautiful. And you see this guy in the middle of a forest, he's holding this position, embracing the tree. And all the pictures that we found are showing people like in this absolute perfect position. But I want people to know is like sometimes our joints and things don't work exactly like we want them to. So if you want to start practicing this and give it a try, don't worry about the perfection aspect of it. It's to me, it's more important that you're showing yourself that love, you're showing yourself that attention, and that you are trying. So yes, it's important to hold certain poses. That's very, very helpful. But the self-love, to me, is really where the magic happens.
Absolutely. And the one thing I try to avoid doing is rubber-soled shoes when I'm doing this. I just don't like that. If it's really cold out, I might have some sort of socks or something on, but even if it's chilly out, I like to do it in bare feet. And you'll find that when you draw chi into your body, you'll get warmer anyway. So, one of my favorite spots that we've had was I would go and sit outside in New Mexico when there was snow all around and draw the chi in. And again, this has the effect where it will literally warm our bodies up. You probably have seen Wim Hof do this. So yes, your form, it should be as good as you can do it. And your back is basically straight. You are leaning like you're leaning on a bar stool. Your knees are bent. And your legs kind of corkscrew into the ground. We do have videos explaining this more. What I wanted to focus on was the fact that we have these 3 main reservoirs. There are 12 ordinary vessels and 8 extraordinary vessels referred to in Qigong. But let's talk first about what we call the dantiens. And the dantiens are very important centers for the body. And the abdominal or lower dantien is usually, it's maybe about 3 fingers below your navel. It is where the Jing is kind of centered. And you can get yourself into this position that we saw and bring your arms down around your lower dantien to gather your life force down there. If you feel in a weakened state, if you feel like you might have a cold or something kicking in, This is a good way to boost the immune system. It's very, very powerful. We have to understand that we are consciousness. Consciousness inhabiting a biological vessel, a biological vehicle for exploration of this particular kingdom, so to speak, or again, this particular loka for the Hindu term for world. The heart one right here, there is also a heart dantien, and then there's also up in the third eye area an upper dantien. So middle dantien, which is really, it's in between the solar plexus and the heart chakras. And this is what the gentleman was cultivating here. And then you can go up into your third eye area. Now, there is this natural process over time of gathering chi. First, you gather it low and you boost the physical vitality of the body. When that gets to the point where it is full and overflowing, which may take months, years, or even decades, depending on the individual, it will automatically rise up into the heart center. As you're feeling this, there will come a point where you'll have this feeling of fullness. And I do remember when that happened to me. And at first I was wondering if I was having prostate issues. I was in I want to say right around 30. And it felt overly full. It might have even been in my 20s at that point in time. Felt overly full for a while. The key is circulating. Doing what we call silk reeling techniques, which there are other videos on silk reeling. We'll go into all this in more depth, and there are already other videos up by us and some others out there on these other techniques. I just want to kind of give you guys an overview and a little primer. Silk reeling can circulate energy and balance things out throughout the different channels. Then, over time, that energy flows upwards into the emotional center. This is our emotional center. So once we build enough life force so that the physical body is getting strong, and when I got to this point, when I was in my 20s, I had a lot of allergies because I wasn't eating right at that time. I was eating just like anybody else. I wasn't focused on organic. I was just eating whatever looked good, tasted good, smelled good. And that was a big part of why I was having such trouble with allergies and asthma. Even though I was always somebody that worked out hard and was always very, very physical, running and everything, working out 5-6 days a week, always, my entire life, I still had that issue. Then when the lower dantian overflowed up into the emotional center and I was building the chi to a high degree in the heart center, I started to get these feelings of, well, am I going to have a heart attack now? Because there's something weird going on in the heart, and irregular palpitations and things like that, which again, what came to me was the silk reeling and the circulating of the energies. And this is coming through from the guides. I'm receiving this direction as I do have a master on the other side that works with me with the energy work. And it was fascinating that Cindy could see him and converse with him. So, if I have questions, instead of receiving mental pictures and intuition, I could literally use my connection here to the other side, and she would give me immediate answers. He says you need to do this. Okay, thank you. Which really, really helps. Again, in the age to come, you're not going to necessarily be looking to other experts on the physical plane for your answers. You'll get them directly from your guides yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's about clearing out your energy centers and allowing this energy to do what it needs. And people are going to have different symptoms. I mean, some people might feel like they have some sort of crazy bladder infection, but they go to the doctor and the doctor is like, well, there's nothing wrong with you. I've ran the blood work. We've tested everything. we've done this, we've done that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you, but you're in a lot of pain. There is something wrong with you. A lot of times this is energy flow. There's something that's been triggered inside of you, and this energy is trying to move and it's unable to move and it gets stuck. So I had similar experiences. When it hit the heart, that was really nice for me, because I felt so much love. I felt so much love constantly for almost a year. It was really quite wild. But when that energy hit my heart just overflowed. And it did balance out, but I found it was really difficult. I don't know the exact terms for it, but it was a state of just pure bliss. And I was not functional, so it's not like it was really bliss, but everything was good and happy and wonderful. And had I have gone to a doctor about that, they would have said, here, this is your bipolar, you're manic, take these pills. That's what they would have done, because there was absolutely nothing on this planet that could bring me down, because my heart, literally the energy was just overflowing. So I did benefit quite a lot from energy work and Qigong, and that's what a lot of people can do besides eating healthy and getting on the right path. If you have these things going on with your body and you're going to the doctors and the doctors say there's nothing wrong with you, this is an energy problem. This is something that you need to work through energetically, and there's many different layers to it. And patience is something that people really need to embrace. If you've been called on this journey, and definitely you will know if you're called, because, well, the call will not stop until you answer. And then after you answer, it could still take many years to do the things that it's going to take to straighten out your energy. So it's something to be taken very, very seriously, this energy. It's not to be taken lightly, because people can really get sick. I mean, they can really get harmed. I mean, I did not know what was wrong with me. It was very, very concerning. But I did make it through, and here I am to help other people, because so many other people are just going to the doctor. That's all they know to do. And the doctors don't know. So then, people might go to 10 or 15 different doctors, and then they end up with us. And then we're trying to help them through it, which energy work really does. It really does help balance those energies and help people kind of find some type of positive way of living while you're going through these difficult energetic changes.
Absolutely. So then when the heart center, when that center overflows again, it's like what Cindy was describing as far as an emotional state, and the energy will be able to flow up into the upper dantian. A neat little sideline is when you're doing these types of meditations, and when you're standing like this, I would regularly stand for an hour. That would be my daily practice, gathering the chi. Sometimes I would do it 20 minutes in the morning, 40 at night, other times 40 and 20, sometimes just one session of 60 minutes. But through doing this for a long period of time, you at first it's going to be very challenging. You might even sweat and shake, and you have to learn how to relax and to move your body into perfect alignment. And that will come naturally, because it'll be too uncomfortable to stay in an incorrect posture. It'll force you to get your posture right. But one of the things that happens is when that heart center is overfilled, it's wild, because all of a sudden your arms are weightless. And it blew my mind when that happened. And that was maybe about 14 years ago that happened, because it was just such confirmation to me that these documents, which may go back, when you look at the Qigong texts, the Taoist texts, they may go back 1,500 years or maybe more. And, they have these different things that you'll work through. And to feel it firsthand was just mind-blowing. And again, the sky is the limit. It really, with human potential, most people don't have a clue as to what we can achieve. This is The Way of Qi here, a blog. So I'll read from this. The human body has 3 important energy centers that store and radiate energy similar to the way a battery stores and releases energy. These 3 powerful energetic centers are called the 3 dantiens. They're located along the center core of the body's Taiji pole. Now, Taiji pole, if you were to look at a human energetically, we would see energy that radiates in a straight line along the 7 main chakras, but also down into the ground below us and up into the heavens above us. It is literally like a pillar or prism of light. It reminds me of those, what do they call those? Red sprites? I'm trying to think. Those, what they'll say is just ice crystals. Like you'll see these pillars of light, especially up towards the northern latitudes. Well, that's kind of like how your energy really looks if you were to see it. So, Dantien is traditionally translated as cinnabar field or elixir field. The primary energetic function of the 3 dantiens is to gather, store, and transform the life force energy. The energy reservoirs of the 3 dantiens are linked externally through the governing vessel and the conception vessels, the Sea of Yang Qi and the Sea of Yin Qi, and are internally connected through the thrusting vessels and the body's Taiji pole. So again, there's a lot to study here. When you start going into medical Qigong, it could be like going to medical school. It really is very similar. There's a lot to understand, as the energy body itself has the equivalent of a vascular network with all these different energetic vessels. So as you can see, these are positioned basically along the center line of the body and also around nerve plexus areas as well. It's just fascinating to learn what the ancients knew, and again, to me, it points to the fact that we actually knew a lot more in thousands of years ago than we do in this period of time.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's still inside of us if we choose to know, and if we choose to hear and see and understand the information. We can go out and we can find it in our own ways. But this energetic change that we are all going through can be very, very, very difficult, and it can be very confusing. And I like the medical Qigong because it does things like it teaches you about the demons. It teaches you about the purpose of the liver, the purpose of the kidneys. It teaches you how to clear all of your organs. It helps you, it just helps you live the natural way, through the way you're supposed to live, not the way that the medical system has us living, via here's a prescription and here's a pill. That's not the way things are supposed to be. Energetically, we can, in a shamanic way, we can be the bridge from the 3D to the energy, and we can help make the changes energetically if we call in the appropriate energies and we do the things that are needed to do to make your energy strong enough to help someone else's energy find its form, or help someone's energy stop being in such chaos and find its own synchronicity. Like, we can help each other do this. So it's about understanding the truth of all things. And in this, there's a lot of really cool information on how to fight demons. How do you banish a demon? I mean, that's the stuff I like.
So each of the dantians generate heat, light, magnetic fields, and electrical vibrations. The energetic charge and intensity of each dantian's vibration and magnetic field is dependent upon the disciple's ability to discipline and control his mental focus, posture, and respiration. So this is a practice that's not for those that have problems with attention. And I do think, again, that so many of today's modern problems are created by the system because they don't want you being a powerful spiritual entity. They don't need, great spiritual leaders. They just need people that can produce energy and do basic work. Qi moves into the body's dantiens through the body's taiji pole. The energy is then absorbed into the body's major organs and surrounding tissues as it flows through the dantiens and into the body's internal and external channels and collaterals. Energy can be absorbed from the external environment through the body tissues, channels, internal organs, and can be directed to flow directly into the three dantians and ultimately into the center core of the taiji pole. Because each dantien acts like a reservoir, it collects energy and redistributes it to all the internal organs. This energy also extends from the surface of the body outward into the three external Wei Qi protective fields. And you probably have heard me, if you've been following for years, talk about your Wei Qi field. Your Wei Qi field, when it's strong, you will not get sick. It's just that simple. You could still be hit by a bullet. You could still come in contact with radiation, poisons, toxins. But as far as even things like eating food that maybe has spoiled, you will have a much milder reaction than if your Wei Qi field is weak. And most people's Wei Qi field is very, very weak. Again, if you are always being exposed to intense FIVEG fields and you're in the middle of a city, a big city, it's hard to be clear. It's hard to be strong. It wears you down over time. This is where people have to make their decisions, their big decisions. Do I want to be the best me? Do I want to be the healthiest, most vibrant, best edition of myself? Or do I want to chase the external goals that the system gives us? Because when you're out in nature and really, not exposed to all the toxins, you'll find yourself growing stronger and healthier, especially if you know just a few basic techniques to pulling in the life force. And again, looking back over here, doing this one, the meditation for building the life force, the short Qigong program, or the long one, or understanding the pore breathing. You could do pore breathing, bone breathing when you're really sick. And in fact, I did when I had Lyme's, and when I ruptured 2 discs. I ruptured L4 and L5. There was nothing left in there. I think they've been somewhat replenished. I really do believe that there is disc material where there wasn't. And again, it wouldn't be that case without the lifelong practice of Qigong and yoga as well. We can do so much. We could heal ourselves from that which the system will tell you can't. Firsthand, I was told by an orthopedic surgeon that you're going to need surgery, and also the guy that was doing my rehabilitation with me was saying the same thing. He said, okay, well, you're never going to jog. You're never going to go back to karate. You're never going to weightlift again. And I did all those things without getting surgery. You can. The system is so limiting. They don't want us to know that everything we need is simply inside of us. It's just that we've lost the way. We've lost the understanding of how this universe really, really works.
There's just so much more to it than what the matrix shows you, and understanding that your belief system, with every belief system that you have adopted from the mainstream, you can view that as a bar to your prison. And there's many different bars in front of you, not allowing you to step out and learn other things and learn how to heal yourself and learn how to be a better version of you, because the mainstream likes to step in there and they like to make you feel that you are flawed. There is something very, very wrong with you. Therefore, you need our products and services, or you need to believe this thing. And if you don't get our products and services or believe this thing, then you are just destined and damned, and there's nothing you can do. That's the mentality that they put out there. That's what they make people think, feel, and they even tell people, you deserve this. You're just horrible and you're awful. And you are not. You are a piece of source. You are amazing. You are someone who deserves happiness. You are someone who deserves healing. You deserve to know everything that you came here to know. You deserve to do all the things that you came here to do. And do not limit yourself. You are your biggest limitation when it really comes down to it.
Absolutely. This world is completely backwards, and you don't have to spend tons of money on this substance and that substance. It's really understanding the basics. And this is adorable, isn't it?
What is he thinking? This is so cute. I mean, taking his dog out for a walk as a dog. That's fabulous. I was kind of talking with someone this morning, and I was telling him, Sita, she's a real sweetheart, but she just does not believe in a leash. So I'm wondering if I just got a big dog suit and, so that it was a dog walking a dog, maybe then she would be okay with it. But right now, I think she just thinks a leash is absolutely absurd and unnecessary. So we're working on that.
As always, guys, look forward to your questions and comments. We'll go down these roads more and share these things with you guys more. And it looks like they took probably 16 or 17 videos down, so we'll just do them over and put them back up and share more. As always, thanks for your support. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.